Hello? Can you
Hello?
hear me?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Oh,
I can't hear you.
I can. I. You are okay.
Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
I haven't said anything. Can you hear me talking now?
I hear you just fine. Oh. Hello? Hello?
Okay, let me try this again.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Again.
Still.
I'm going to leave and come back.
No. I can hear you. I can hear you.
I also can hear you.
You can hear me?
I can hear both of you.
Okay.
Art can't hear us.
Oh. Art is down to not hearing us. Okay. Well, I guess you're going to have to leave and come back then. It says Art's still here. That's
He's
crazy.
Still here. He's on the screen. I'm seeing him on the screen.
Yeah, but he's also in the waiting room.
Oh.
I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
We've got you. Yeah. Yeah, I could hear you before.
I don't know what was, for some reason or another, sometimes in order to get the sound to work, I've got to leave and come back. So
Yeah.
at any rate, let me get myself set up here.
Wow. It's all right. We're early anyway, so technical glitches aside.
Yeah. When I communicate with my healthcare providers, we sometimes have to talk to each other over the telephone while we can see each other on the screen.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like every now and then Zoom just loses the audio. We don't know.
So your teledocs are via Zoom or something else like web?
They have a proprietary system in the VA. So it's whatever system they have. I don't know the particulars of it.
So do you use the same technique to connect that you would use with, or do they just email you a link and you go to that link?
They mail me a link and I go to that link.
Okay, so it could be WebEx, could be anything. Okay.
Yeah. And it seems to work pretty well most of the time, but there are times that we end up just dialing each other on the telephone. As I was holding up the sign a while ago that we could hear you, I hold up my telephone number and they just call me.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, let me get you in gallery view here. So.
And Frank's here. Frank's coming in.
Say again?
Frank's coming.
Looks like it.
Frank. Yep.
Oh, there's Frank. Hey, Frank.
Hey,
We got you with a little echo.
what's that? Oh, Echo?
Echo. You're
Okay.
in the basement.
No. I messed around with my audio, so.
And
Today,
Barry's here.
I feel like the luckiest.
Ah, Barry. Barry is on
Barry's-
his way.
Yeah, Barry's actually here. He's not incognito this time.
Well, he never has video, but he always has sound. There
Yeah.
we go.
Yeah. But what was his handle the last few times? It wasn't Barry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Barry, we're picking on you a little bit.
I was gonna say,
Shit.
I'm seeing a muted microphone on Barry's window.
Yep. Yeah. Barry only unmutes when he wants to talk.
Okay.
Gee, I wish there were some other people like that.
I got a deal in the email. It says, my wife told me that I had two faults. One, I didn't listen, and the other one, she was just rambling on about.
That
I was.
oh, go ahead.
I was amused in the news. This Japanese guy who was responsible for the Olympics, the Tokyo Olympics, fired because he said that the women in the meeting were talking too much. And I thought, boy, you know, the truth does not necessarily keep you free.
In 2021, he should have known better.
Well, I don't know. The Japanese culture is fairly traditional.
Yeah, but they train their managers, I think. He need to go to manager school.
Well, I've been to manager school and my opinions haven't changed one whit.
And
Well, enough people have lost their jobs, so yeah, it's kind of sinking in.
Jim's here. We're looking up at Jim
Jim.
again.
Okay.
Barry and Frank. Oh yeah. Mike too.
I really enjoyed the automatic
Oh, wow.
pool table. The automatic pool cue.
stick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Yeah. That's the same guy that did the haircut thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he did that pool table thing before he did the haircut because he had long hair in the pool table thing. And after the hair machine, I think his ears were still there, but not much hair.
Oh, I got the impression that the pool cue thing was relatively new in terms of its appearance on the internet. It may have been prepared earlier.
Yeah, I got the impression that it was fairly new. But
Yeah, that was a pretty neat algorithm he put together to calculate the angle and so forth and so on. Those Euler angle calculations are non-trivial, I can tell you.
yeah, well, and he made it sound like it was easy. This is easy to do.
Yeah,
okay.
right. Well, once you get the algorithm together, it's a matter of just filling in the parameters. But the figuring out the algorithm, of course, he could have borrowed the algorithm from someplace. So
You guys see the Mars landing?
No, I haven't seen it.
Simulated. It's down.
yeah, a couple hours ago it landed. Well, actually, 4 or 5 hours ago at this point.
No, I didn't see it.
I think it landed about 2 p.m. California time, so that would be 11 p.m. 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Now, what would that be Martian time?
I don't know. I've got the
Damned if I
algorithm to
know.
figure it out.
Well, I'm just thinking that there's got to be a delay in there of what, 4 or 5 minutes between what actually happens and the
I
transmission.
think it's like, it's a little bit more than that, 10 minutes,
Yeah.
9 minutes, something like that.
Well,
Well, Leroy can do the math.
the Earth Sun is 8 1/3 minutes. So, and I don't know how close in proximity we
300,000 miles.
were in terms of
No, that's not a direct line though. That's just how,
200,000 miles.
that's just how long it took. It didn't take a straight route to Mars.
Well,
But it wasn't 200,000. I
No.
think you're off by a factor of
At least.
3 other knots there.
it depends on which band they use for the radio, but it says NASA's own website says that it takes anywhere between 5 minutes and 20 minutes to send a message to Mars. So I guess that
That's
depends
there.
on.
That's
Yeah.
there and back, right?
I think it was one way because they had this dead zone that they were talking about where things had happened, but they wouldn't know for 8 minutes or so.
Yeah, I think this is one way. And I think it depends on where exactly Mars is located in relationship to us. Because Mars does actually get closer to us at some point. They're talking about a 400 megahertz. The uplink frequency is like 400 megahertz. That's kind of
Well,
interesting.
The frequency isn't going to change the speed. Speed is 3
Yeah.
times 10 to the centimeters per second.
The what's Jim trying to do
I
there?
have no idea what Jim's doing.
I'm having microphone troubles again.
Jim's off in his own little world again.
Are you using your phone for video?
No?
We hear you. I hear you anyway.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
hear you.
That's all that counts.
Let's see.
I thought for a second you were going to levitate and fly around the room or something. It as a substitute for
Oh, wow.
Ooh, you got enough monitors.
Oh, there.
Wow.
Vicente. Very good.
Hello, everyone.
hello.
Hello.
Finally, we landed in Mars. We did it.
Yep, sure did.
We also have an 8 gigahertz transmitter transceiver on there too. So they've got a couple of different radio frequencies that they're using. It's
Well,
kind of
as
interesting.
long as you're above about 50 megahertz, you don't have any problem reflecting back from the ionosphere, because that's
Yeah.
about the maximum you ever get for a direct reflection back.
So it looks like. Let's see. Oh yeah. They're using the gigahertz band. It looks like for fast data, and they're using the UHF band for slow data.
Mm-hmm.
I guess all that makes sense.
So the Chinese and the Middle Eastern and the Arabs landed yet or not?
I don't know.
Yours? was supposed to all end today. That was my understanding.
I really haven't kept up with it.
Yeah, you'd think that humankind is making great leaps forward until you look at the people in Texas.
Wow. That's a mess.
It could be worse. It could be in Germany.
Uh, well, I guess we learned a lot. I didn't know their situation until this thing happened. Got a lot to fix.
Well, it shows dependent we are on power and how we're at the mercy of weather, so to speak.
Yeah.
They sort of contrasted Arkansas with Texas. And Arkansas is on, I guess, the United States grid. Texas is on a grid by themselves. So they can't get support. They didn't do the right thing as far as maintaining the grid. And I guess where I understand it is they could have spent some money on weatherizing their equipment. And they decided it didn't make sense in that climate. And it bit them bad.
Yep.
Well, that was my understanding, was the weatherization thing, and then they were on their own power grid. They're pretty much isolated themselves.
Yeah.
Well, the good news there is they don't take anybody else down.
Well, that's true, but
They
They
don't risk
took
anybody
themselves
else.
out, so they did themselves in.
A friend of mine lives in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and I spoke to him the other night. He said that he's had 5 hours of power in the last 3 days.
You know, I sit around thinking about, they have all these scenarios and, okay, how would I get around it, you know? I mean, I have a fireplace, so I could burn some wood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there were a lot of accidents, people trying to get warm, burning stuff inside the houses.
Mm-hmm.
And the water is a real problem because all the pipes are not winterized. A friend of mine living in Houston, he has electricity but no water.
Yeah.
Because the water system is
Frozen.
almost destroyed. So they are melting snow to have water, but everything was a mess. So I think they need to prepare the next time for such kind of conditions. It's rare, but
Well, it sounds like the California thing is contagious.
What's the California thing?
Brownouts.
Okay.
Well, but brownouts have to do.
Poor
I'm not
grid. You
going
ever
to get
heard of
into a
poor
political.
grid in California? Absolutely. That's one of the things that happened to them. Their population zone shifted and they didn't compensate for it. Okay, that's one of the problems they had. These
I
guys
just-
didn't.
Well, I'm not going to get into a political discussion about California.
No. Let's just ignore it. There was no problem in California. California's perfect.
My brother has lived in California for about 50 years. And I have visited him several times, and I am convinced that California is the land of fruits and nuts.
Well,
Lands of fruits and nuts.
Nuts.
There he is.
hey there, Kenny.
Did you see they had a helicopter above the wind generator trying to thaw it out? Did y'all see that?
Oh, I didn't see that.
That was a good one.
There was a helicopter above the wind generator trying to
Yep.
thaw it out.
Yep. they froze. One of the problems with the wind generators is they froze up. You stick something up in that high.
But this picture is from 2 years ago in Switzerland. The helicopter cleaning the wind generator.
Oh,
It's from 2 years ago in Switzerland, but the people are using it to blame the generators in Texas, but it's not Texas.
wow.
I got to tell you, they can't pay me enough to do that job. There is, a few years ago, we had a plant in Fremont that had high tension wires going behind us. You know, those big towers with the wires and so forth and so on. And when they decided to string a new set of wires, and I'm not sure why they do that. I think they may have just increased the gauge of the wire or something or another. They had these guys on helicopters. They would be standing on the rails along the side of the helicopters, and the helicopter would come down over the tower, and these guys would hop off, literally hop off the rail onto the top of the tower. And I thought, man, there there is no way. You know. So,
I
yeah.
had to, this was probably 50 years ago, I had to do some sound level measurements at the top of a stack. It was a steel stack. And whenever the vibration was just right, it had about a 2 to 3 inch throw. So I'm up there, I don't know how high, but if you can imagine a 2 to 3 inch throw, and I'm trying to do sound level measurements, it's like I made certain that all of my equipment and stuff was tied down because I was afraid of throwing $50,000 worth of test equipment off of the tower. And so at the end of the day, I decided I don't need to carry this broomstick down. I'd use that to reach up over the top of the opening. I'll just drop that. There's nobody down there. And I dropped it, and it started out going vertically. And then it gradually tipped a little bit, and then it tipped a little bit more, and then it tipped a little bit more. And then some more. And all the meantime, it's flying out further and further and further away from the top of the stacks. And I'm thinking, I sure as hell hope that doesn't go through somebody's windshield. And it was too late to do anything about it at that point. So I've seen those videos that you're talking about, Art, and I think the maximum I'd ever do is what I did with the top of that stack. The fact that it flexed so much would, I mean, it was steel. It was within the Young's modulus. It wasn't failing or anything like that. It was just a big, long piece of steel that was fluxing.
Well, you haven't had any real excitement until you've been in a tall building when there's an earthquake.
Ooh.
Because all of the earthquake, of course, if you're in a tall building that is not earthquake protected, you basically just put your head between your legs and kiss your butt goodbye. But if you're in one that's compensated, they're either on rollers so they slide around, or they're flexible so they'll sway in the wind. But I got to tell you, knowing that they are stable in an earthquake is not much confidence when you're there and it's going on. I've been in only like 5 or 6 story buildings when we were having say 6.0 earthquake, and they're going whop 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 whop, and people are running down the hall screaming and so forth and so.
Well, that's like when you're on the highway and you're going on a large steel a bridge and you get stopped because of traffic, it's amazing how much that bridge jumps around underneath.
Oh, yeah.
I think the when I was in the Navy, up in the sail, and even that, the sail of the submarine, and even that was too high for me, really. And I was
Well, what are you, about 100 feet up there or something like that?
probably not even that high. But I was you know, you're out over the ocean, and there's not really a deck below you. You really just see the ocean. You see the sailplanes, and it's a little unnerving being up that high and not really having anything below you, even though you are surrounded. I mean, you're inside a metal structure. All the wave has to do is come and hit you and knock you right out.
Oh, so you're in the open?
You're surrounded by, basically, your head can look out. You're surrounded enough by the sail to protect you more or less. But yeah, I mean, when you're up there trying to rig the radar, you're actually out standing on the sail. So you're outside of the protection, and that's not fun.
Do they have you cabled in?
Yeah. Yeah. You're hooked on with like a 9-foot, 10-foot lanyard, and you'll still fall right over the side, and you'll still be dangling like 30 feet in the air. So
Yeah, I'd
That's
rather
what you
that though than being out there in the ocean itself.
yeah, well,
That's what you get paid the big bucks for there, Leroy.
I think
Yeah,
though
big bucks,
that's
like that's
I think that's really, I don't think I would ever jump from a helicopter onto something. That's just nuts. But
Well, I've been on the John Hancock building up on top, and that thing sways in the breeze with Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. And I don't know, it's got like a 3-4 inch sway back and forth. Oof.
so
Pop the fireplace near so you guys can get warm.
Thank
Sounds
you.
good.
Oh, yeah.
I can just feel it.
We can put our
Yeah.
Yeah. Feel the radiation there?
Yes,
increase it.
my butt's a little cool, but my hands are warm.
That's one of the channels off the that streaming package I was telling you guys about. It's the relaxation channel, the screen channel. That's a TV channel.
that's like the
So
Yule
we're looking
log.
at a screen?
Yeah, you're looking at the screen. Yeah, you're looking at my TV, 55-inch TV.
So it's like the Yule log.
Sure feels warmer in here though.
I got some new
Well, that's-
toys.
Oh, yeah?
Okay,
Yeah.
toys time.
Toys time.
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
That
What is that?
It's a dog. Oh,
It's
okay.
it's a robot dog
Yeah.
from came from Kickstarter. It's got a Atmega 328, so it's basically an Uno driving the whole thing.
Okay.
What can it do?
Right now, not much.
Is it autonomous?
Is a kit or is it completely assembled?
Well, I honestly thought I was buying the kit, and it came assembled. So
Okay.
they offer it as a kit and already assembled. And I thought I had bought the kit, but after seeing it, I'm glad I didn't buy the kit. I don't know how well you guys will see this, and we're running low on time. It's-
We are seeing it. I am.
Let's
And
see.
So you have some kind of a controller?
It's just one of those cheap IR remotes.
Oh,
Don't fall.
Doing push-ups.
He's doing
Yeah.
push-ups. And oh, he had to go to the bathroom.
That's funny.
Now he's waving at you. Here, turn him around.
Can he walk?
He can. It comes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nope, wrong button. Stop. It comes roughly calibrated, so it still needs some calibration to make it walk good, but it can do it.
How many servos?
2, 4, 8, 9. There's 9 servos.
Each leg has 2 servos or 3?
2.
I think they
Two.
are 2.
And the head has 1.
Okay.
So the head can move. But you see, after it moved a little bit, it was standing pretty straight. But this one leg wants to raise itself up off the ground a little bit. So it's not really calibrated correctly. It's close, but
Right there.
Oh, how much?
that was $200.
Wow.
Is that Leroy dollars?
No, that was I really want this thing.
Man.
I really want this thing dollars. That was I figure I probably would never get a Boston Dynamic dog, and this was as close as I was going to get.
Oh, you think so? What was that?
That's one of my new toys. I got a couple new radios. These are just MERS radios. So they're VHF business band.
Well, we were talking earlier about the video that Leroy put the link to about Micro Center.
Yeah.
They're giving away not just a USB memory stick, but also you're getting 2 things. If you download it, a 32, I think it's a 32-bit micro SD card.
Yeah. If you click on that link in the video.
Yeah, and they naturally get your name for a mailing list or something, but
Well,
Oh,
they've already got my names.
yeah.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
But I thought that we're close enough that most of us can run down there without a problem, and I'm always a sucker for free
I
stuff.
tended to stay out of that store. I order almost everything from Amazon. Even though it's probably closer to me than any of you guys.
Yeah.
One stop on the expressway and I'm there.
Yeah.
But you get lazy. Plus you have to stand in line.
I only try to go in that store when I can get out of there without spending a fortune. And that's not very often.
I don't worry about that. I go to get what I go to get, and that's it.
Well,
It's called disciplined shopper.
there's so much stuff
What's
I want
that?
right. Well, there's so much stuff I want right now. And because, I really couldn't go anywhere for a year. Every time I think about getting something, I want to get more than what I want.
Go get that fancy new video card Saturday.
Let's see. The middle kid, she picked up one of those Oculus Rift things, the new one, and she was like, "You got to get one. You got to get one." I'm like, "No, I really don't got to get one of those. That is not what I need." But I would like a Raspberry Pi 400 and a few more Raspberry Pi Picas.
But Micro Center doesn't have the 500, the 400, right?
They've just got it as the kit. They don't have just the single.
The single thing.
Yeah.
I want the single thing. It's cheaper.
Yeah, especially since you've already got all the parts to make it work.
Yeah. But I already have them. Yeah.
Are you familiar, Leroy, with that Arduino kit? It's like $37 on Amazon, and it has like
Yeah,
breadboard
I've
and
used-
But
resist-
there are plenty of them. I don't know.
Yeah. Arch
Yeah, I think-
used them.
I was thinking about
I
recommending.
actually used them in the spring to teach classes. We issued one to each student.
How did that work out?
Worked out fantastic. We had been using, when we went virtual, there was no way we could issue Allen Bradley PLCs to each of the students. So the next best thing was to issue Arduino kits to them, and they go through, and they still learn about timing and delays and counting and all that kind of stuff that they need, the general principles that they need for the Allen Bradley programming. And so the first time around, we issued $100 kits, and that hurt a little bit, not the least of which the bite out of my backside that the dean took. And then we found the $37 ones on Amazon, and they work fantastic. They have that ELU Arduino knockoff, and I think that's the primary difference, that they, than having a regular Arduino, they have that ELU. By the way, Leroy, I'm going to have to beg off on the second half. I've got another HOA meeting tonight. We are counting the ballots for the new board.
Aha.
So this promises to be exciting. The only good news is, since only 3 counters are there in person, there probably won't be any fist fights. But this is a really contentious. It's amazing, all politics is local, and they really get excited about this.
Yeah, no problem.
So at any rate, I need a hall pass for number 2, and
Oh, no problem.
Well,
besides which, we're going to record the second half.
Art is no money back. You already paid for the second one.
Yeah, no money back.
Oh, sorry. Well,
okay. Well, those HOA folks can become kind of contentious. You gotta watch
man,
yourself.
you have no idea.
38 seconds.
Yeah.
Did you see that basic kit there from Micro Center, Frank?
Yes,
$35.
Is that $3 cheaper than?
Yeah, but they.
Plus tax.
I think it's the same kit.
It's the same
Because
kit.
I think they use the ELU board in place of the Arduino.
Micro Center has their own brand, but yeah, it's the same idea.
Yeah.
6.
7,
All right. See you in a second.
5.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.